How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about the best minimalistic setup for photography. So let's jump right into it. So as much as I love my Sony setups when it comes down to using them for video and photography, sometimes they do get a little bit bulky when it comes down to just doing a minimalistic going out to shoot, going on a walk, and having some fun. I got this Fuji X100F a couple months ago, I think now, and I've been using it a lot when it comes down to just going out and just taking photos and having fun without having to just really bring my whole gear. The mirrorless cameras that I have obviously are more compact than DSLRs, but I also do think that these cameras are still a little bit bulky when it comes down to just on the run gun just to take photos. So this camera is very compact, it has a fixed focal length, so I don't really have to focus too much on anything else. And the great thing about it, it has Fuji like film recipes that you can do where it takes really cool photos straight out of the bat and you don't have to do really much post-processing on Lightroom. So if you want to really just go out and shoot and take photos and then literally just get them out of camera, this is a great setup for a minimalistic look. So basically, one good thing that I love about this camera, since it is a minimal kind of looking camera, a lot of places don't get kind of intimidated, if you will, when it comes down to having a whole rig basically set up with my full frame camera. Because if I was using my Sony a7 III like we're using to film, it would be a little bit intimidating to go into a shop to just kind of go have a camera around, because they'll think that you're probably taking photos that they might not be wanting you to do or filming. So with this setup, I mean, you can take really good photos and just have a nice little minimalistic setup, which is my favorite thing to do, is just go on walks and just take photos of anything. Because a lot of times I don't want to have to drag a big setup because it does get tiring to hold. With this one, I mean, essentially I can put it in my pocket if I really wanted to, depending on like the pocket size or whatever, but it is very light. So it's kind of nice to just go ahead and take some photos. So we're going to walk around and just kind of capture some photos and just kind of, you know, have some fun today. So sometimes you can argue that you can just bring your phone and take some photos, but the thing with phones is there's not much manual control, which I don't like that. And in a sense, sometimes I actually keep it an aperture priority with this, just because it's a really good camera when it comes down to picking up that up. I can do it a little bit more manual, but the good thing is with the lens itself, you can kind of, you know, keep your aperture, whether you want it to be really wide or very, like, you know, narrow, whatever you want to. It's something really great when it comes down to that. So if I want to take portraits, it'll be more natural than just using the portrait mode on my phone. But worst case scenario, you can use your phone if you're kind of, you know, on a budget. But I would recommend trying to get a camera like this style because it's very minimalistic when it comes down to the editing. That's something that I think is very important when it comes down to these type of cameras. You can export the photos exactly how they look with the JPEG, and even kind of do minor adjustments when it comes down to this to just post them directly to social media. So it's a pretty cool setup in my opinion. But despite of actually having just a lot of like acquired basically gear that I've had over the years, sometimes just having a minimalistic setup is just quite nice, because I feel like it just lets you create without overthinking what gear you're going to be using and just having all these extra options. So keeping a camera like this style is actually been pretty beneficial for me, just to mainly just make sure I have a camera with me when I'm out and about just taking photos. I just have something to create that I'll be happy with, in a sense, because a lot of the times just using my phone is not the most ideal for me. I don't really feel motivated to take photos with my phone, and it just might be me being me. But if it works for you, that's something great to do. I mean, there's other options like the Sony a7C or the ZV-1. Those are great cameras from what I've heard. So it's not a bad camera to have for the compact size. This is still, I think, more compact. Maybe the ZV-1 might be closer to it. But I think as long as the camera just makes you go out to create no matter what, and even if it's a minimalistic setup, I think it's something that'll just be worth it to invest in. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.